Hi friends, welcome to a new video of I square. So far we have discussed about the geometrical meaning of zeros of a polynomial, and in the last class we said that any polynomial has number of zeros equal to the number of times for which the graph of the function crosses the x-axis. And now we are going to move to the first exercise of this chapter, and here we are given with certain polynomials. We have to find the number of zeros of each polynomial from the graph of its function. The first question, here the graph is given like this, and we are asked to find the number of zeros of this polynomial. See, this is the graph of the function, which is a straight line which runs parallel to the x-axis, right? Which means that if a straight line runs parallel to the x-axis, it can never cross the x-axis. It will not cross the x-axis as this line moves like this. It will never cross x-axis. So here the line will never cross x-axis, which means that this polynomial has no zeros. So this polynomial has no zeros. Why? Because this line or the graph never crosses x-axis. Now coming to the second polynomial. Here the graph of the function is a smooth curve running like this, and we can see that this graph then goes like this only, and it can never come back. Hence it crosses the x-axis precisely on one and only one point. Hence we can write this polynomial has only 1 0. So this polynomial has only 1 0 just because this polynomial crosses the x-axis only once, which is clear from the graph of the function. Now we shall move to the third polynomial. See the third polynomial. The third polynomial is also a smooth curve, and we can see that this polynomial crosses the x-axis 3 times, right? Hence we can conclude that it has 3 zeros. So this polynomial has 3 zeros because the graph of the polynomial crosses the x-axis 3 times. Now coming to the fourth question. Here the graph is given like this, and we know that this shape is nothing but a parabola. Remember that a parabola is a graph of a quadratic polynomial or a second degree polynomial, and it can have either no zeros or 1 0 or at most 2 0. In this graph, the graph crosses x-axis 2 times. Hence we can say that this polynomial is a quadratic polynomial which has 2 zeros because this polynomial crosses the x-axis 2 times. Now moving to the fifth one. Here the graph is a smooth curve and it crosses the x-axis at these points, and when we count it can be 1, 2, 3, 4. Hence evidently this polynomial has 4 zeros. Is it clear? Now you can itself say how many zeros does this polynomial have. See, this curve crosses x-axis once here. Now this curve touches x-axis once here because the x-axis runs parallel or tangent to the curve in this point, which means that this curve touches x-axis at this point and it moves on like this, and again it touches the x-axis in this point. Then the graph ends. Here the graph crossed x-axis once and touched twice. A polynomial has a 0 if when the graph of the polynomial touches the x-axis or it crosses the x-axis. Here we can have 1, 2, 3 such points. Hence this polynomial has 3 zeros. So it is easy to calculate the number of zeros of any polynomial from its graph. Just observe the graph well and identify which all points are those points where the graph crosses or touches the x-axis. If the graph crosses or touches the x-axis, then that point will be a zero of the polynomial for sure, and you can count the number of zeros exactly by counting the number of points by which the graph crossed the x-axis. So I hope you understood this exercise well. It is very easy for you, and you can identify various graphs of various polynomials, and easily you can count the number of zeros. So thanks for watching. We will come up with a new video. Stay tuned.